Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
Well, today we're talking about a very important topic. I'm joined by Simon and Cindy from Carolina Forest Elementary School. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Great.
Wonderful. Now, you both work in education, but you also are co-authors of a book. Tell me about this book.
Okay, so this book is Adapting Behavior Practices, Reframing Your Approach to Discipline. And we, for the past 5 years, the two of us have been working together with behavior a lot. And so we just realized that getting to the root of the behavior helps tremendously, and it helps the kids not to repeat the same behavior. So we kind of came together and just thought of ways to help the kid to change the behavior.
So
Right.
who is this book for?
This book is for parents and teachers, and really for adults, because everybody gets frustrated when it comes to behavior, and they wonder, what are we going to do? And even for me as a parent, it's helpful because we tend to work with our own kids a little differently than we work with other people's kids. So, the being consistent and putting these things into practices, it's difficult because it's time consuming, but the consistency is what wins in the long run.
So can you give me some examples maybe that are in the book without spoiling too much?
Like Cindy said, a lot of kids, and I'm sure many people out here listening and yourselves can remember, when kids would come get in trouble at school, and they would get in trouble for the same things over and over and over again. So, like the front of the book shows there, some roots in the ground and a child being like a plant. When something goes wrong with your crops, you got to figure out what's wrong in the dirt, not what's on top. So once you get to that root, and it does take time, because as we say in there, it takes them a long time to get that way. It takes a long time to get them out. And gaining that trust with us or whoever they work with is the first step in getting to the root of that problem.
Yeah, and I would say definitely building the relationship. Relationships are everything. When you get the relationships with these kids, we've had a lot of kids that, just came from tough situations. And the two of us, we just team up and kind of become that safe space for them.
Right.
And they know it, and then it just helps.
Well, tell me also, for parents and other teachers who have read the book, what has been the response?
Well, for some who kind of been in education for a long time, it's like a new thing for them. It's almost like they're having to retrain their thinking and their brain. And, and I say all the time, like, this is just a new generation of kids. Like, you can't do the same thing that you did a long time ago to reach this generation, because they have so many other things coming up against them, like social media. And they just carry a lot. And so you just have to approach it a different way.
Yeah.
So.
Because everybody, wants to see old school, though.
Right.
Our grandparents' old school was a lot different than our old school, so there's always a new school coming. So we just need to adapt to that new school a little bit faster.
Right.
If we're going to be successful with our kids, and that's a hard thing for some teachers. If we can help them understand this practice, in the long run, it's going to be a smoother classroom. Their scores will be better because we're really, we like scores, but without those relationships, those scores really don't matter.
Now, Cindy, do you have another book as well?
I do. This is actually my third children's book. I'm always trying to write, because I am a counselor, giving kids tools that they can use when I'm not there, and so this book is Same Love, Different Homes, and it is about kids that are in divorce situations. And so I think out of all the books, like, this was the one that I could connect to the most, because I was that kid. And so when I wrote it, it was really rewarding for me as well. So, yeah.
So if anybody's interested in purchasing one of your books, where can they find these?
They can find them on Amazon. They're both on Amazon.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Today, I am joined in studio by Keosha Garrett. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. We're going to talk about what you have been doing, your ministry, Shanavia's Dream Sickle Cell Clinic.
Yes, ma'am. I started a nonprofit this year in memory of my late sister, Shanavia, who passed away from sickle cell complications back in 2021. It's been amazing, the amount of people that we were able to reach in Charleston, McClellanville, Georgetown area. It's definitely amazing. So yeah.
You truly hit the ground running when
did.
it comes to all the different things that you've been doing. What do you think is important for the community to know about sickle cell?
The important thing, one of the many important things that I feel that our community should know is that sickle cell is definitely a forgotten about disease. We need more awareness because it affects so many people. I had my second annual blood drive back on Shanavia's birthday, which was June 10th. And I had MUSC to come out to do sickle cell trait testing. And just this morning, I had someone to reach out to me telling me, hey, I got my results and I have the sickle cell trait. And she's about 20 years old and she didn't know. So it's like that gap between the communication from parents over time to their children. Sometimes they forget to let their kids know, hey, you have the trait. Try not to mate with someone else that has the trait because then their child will have sickle cell, which in my case, that's what happened to my sister because my mom knew, but my dad, he didn't.
So education is super important.
Education, most definitely, education.
All right, so if people want to stay connected with you along this journey, how can they do that?
Well, definitely. They can follow us on Facebook at Shanavia's Dream Sickle Cell Clinic. Also, they can reach us at shanaviasdream@gmail.com. If they want to inquire about blood drives, they can refer to the Facebook page, and we keep everyone posted there.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we have quite a treat today. I am at R&R Dance Studio and I'm joined by Ro. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm so excited. We're going to be doing some Latin dance today. What are we trying?
We're going to do bachata.
All right, here it is, folks.
So this is going to be kind of like your base whenever you do any kind of bachata dance. You're going to kind of feel the same thing, yeah? Here we go. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3.
I always want to go back.
5, 6, 7. Here you go. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. Nice. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6.
What do you do with your hands?
3. You just leave them where they are, so that way I can pick them back up once we get back around, yeah? Just like when I leave this, you just leave it where it is. I'll pick it up.
Okay.
Yep. All right, we're gonna get tricky. Ready?
Oh, goodness.
Keep those steps.
He's mixing it up now. I'm like, oh, goodness.
Keep those steps. Hey! Stay. Keep going.
Okay.
Nice job.
Yay!
Nice job. Nice job. Nice job.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, today we're gonna learn some stuff. I'm joined by money coach Dana Wolf. How are you?
I am great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. You're gonna talk to me about the major components of a healthy financial plan today.
Correct.
What are they? Where do
Good
we
question.
begin?
Good question, Katie. So there are 4 things that you really need to know about your financial health. I mean, we all go to the doctors once a year for a regular checkup, right? So we need to check our financial health as well. So we need to start off with the question, do we have a financial plan? Do we have a monthly plan like a budget? Do you have an estate plan like your wills and things like that? That's all part of your financial life. You're going to be dealing with money from the day you're born until the day you die. So having that estate plan, having a financial plan, do we need a debt reduction plan because we're in debt and we have goals that we want to meet? Do we have a tax reduction plan because we owe the IRS money or the South Carolina money, right? So that's the first section. The second section goes into what I want to call the funding, the things that we're going to fund in the future, all right? So we need to fund college education for our children. Maybe we need a wedding fund. Maybe we have some long-term goals like retiring at the age of 55, and so we want to fund our retirement. So that's another segment of your financial life. The third section would be more along the lines of legacy building.
Okay.
Are we teaching our children about finances? Because that's a huge one, okay? Are we teaching our children about our finances? Are we giving our financial wealth and building a community that we're leaving a legacy, where we're using our money for the good? So those are the first 3. And then the fourth thing is insurance. There are so many different types of insurance out there, and you really have to ask yourself, do I have the right insurance? Do I need insurance? Do I have homeowners or auto, renters? Do I have life insurance? Do I have health insurance, disability insurance, long-term care insurance? And there's so many out there that you really have to look at them each year and say, do I have the right coverage? Do I need more coverage? Things of that nature. So there's 4 different little pots, okay? So we've got our planning for the future pot, where we're funding things for the future. We have our now pot, and then we have our legacy pot, and then the insurances that we need to make sure that we're covered.
And you were saying this sort of thing, you should do a little checkup every
You
year.
You do.
How do you do that?
It's the same way with going to your doctor, right? So at the first of the year, you might look back and say to yourself, where did my money go? Or you may do that on April 15th when you're doing your taxes, right?
Yep.
But pick a time of the year. When it comes to insurance, for example, if you know your registration is due in June and your insurance is due in June, you want to start looking 30, 60 days prior to that at your automobile insurance. Do you have the right coverage? Maybe we want to change our coverage because we have an emergency fund, and so we can change our deductible, get a lower premium if we're looking at it. Anytime there is a life change in your family, if you have a new child, if you get married, if you move, as you're turning 65, there are different things when it comes to health insurance that you have to be, paying attention to. So it has to be something that works for your schedule. Don't try to look at your finances the day before you go on vacation. But pick something, whether it's the first of the year so that you can take a look back and you can say, oh, this is where I was, this is where I want to be this year. Maybe it's over a long holiday weekend where you're just sitting around and you're like, okay, July is almost over. I got 6 months to the end of the year. Where am I? Am I meeting my goals? Do I need to change things? Do I need to change my plan? And when it comes to teaching our children, that's an everyday thing that has to happen all the time.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.